Today's video is more of a setting the record straight video rather than a story time, because I think this narrative has gone on for the past 20 years where some people decided that I'm a thief and that there's nothing good can come out of me and that I can never survive outside in the world. And now it's been 10 years and counting, because God does not sleep in people's houses. God balances us out and God rewards us according to our actions and our deeds. And before we begin this video, let me just plug you on our shoot location today. This is at Edmo Suits. Kama kawaida, kama dawa. They have the best apartments in town. Whether you are looking for somewhere to have some short-term stay or long-term stay, they have from studio apartments up to 4 bedrooms apartments in Kileleshwa, Westlands, Kilimani, and Parklands. And all you have to do is come here and have a lovely time. Look at these apartments, so beautiful. It will be an amazing time to spend here. And if you mention my name, Lydia, you get 500 off your next stay with Edmo. Take advantage. 500 goes a long way. You can literally buy food, the one that will come to eat here, without 500 bob. So anyway, so there's a narrative from where I grew up, or from the family that brought me up, where they think that I'm a thief. They think they can literally go to court and defend that I am a thief, because so many things happen here and there. And I would understand why they would feel that way at that time. But right now, when we are all adults, when we all know what happened, when we all have our facts straight, we can be able to say, you know what, you are just a victim of circumstances. You are just on the wrong side of things, or you are just caught up on the wrong side of things. But because they want to continue with this narrative, they want to, continue proving they are right while they are wrong. They want to continue pushing a narrative of, oh, we know Lydia better, we know what Lydia is capable of, we know Lydia blah blah blah. I have had enough. So last year, when was it? In September, October, I shared my life story on Lynn Gugi's YouTube channel. And because I felt like for so many years I had carried that burden of how much traumas I got from my childhood, how much I was abused physically, emotionally, socially, psychologically. And I realized it's time I let go and close that chapter in my life. And when I shared that story, because you cannot share your story in a video of less than 1 hour 30 minutes. There's so many details you leave out. There's so many things you forget even when you're narrating something. And so one of the feedbacks that came back from after she posted that video on her YouTube channel, if you haven't, this is the link. Please go and listen to this story if you really want to know that well. And I understand even some of you came to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on social media platforms after you heard that story. So if you haven't, maybe go and watch and then come back. So that's why we'll know. That's how you'll know where we are at and why I am doing this video. So after she aired that video, there were some feedbacks back from some of the family members, and they thought maybe that will shut me down, that will make me go quiet, or they were like trying to tell their side of the story. And even it was more of an attack than telling their side of the story. It was more of an ambush. It was more of a demeaning and discrediting my feelings and my traumas and things I went through, my experiences. Because one major thing they kept saying, all of them, because I was attacked by 3 family members on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube. So one of the things that they were so adamant on was that, oh, we know Lydia better. She's a thief. She's a serial thief. She's a serial liar. She's just here for fame. This fame, Lydia, you are looking for, it will be your downfall. Let me set the record straight, even on something else. I started creating content in 2022. This is when my TikTok blew up. I was not even talking anything about family. I was just talking about general life, relationships, friendships, my own personal things when it comes to relationships, my stories. And I had already blown up. I was already big on TikTok. I was big on Instagram. So telling my story was just some sort of, just letting go and putting my story out there. And so many of people did what so many people related to what I said, to what I shared, because one thing the people, an abuser depends on is your silence as the victim. And one thing I have come to learn in my adult life, I'll never be kept quiet. I will never shy away from speaking the truth. I'll never shy away from defending myself, because growing up where you are accused of so many things in the household, when something breaks, you are accused you are the one who has broken. When something gets lost, you are accused you are the one who has you are accused you are the one who have stolen. When something happens, you are the number one accused. There is no even some jury to decide and some facts to be set straight to decide whether you are guilty or not. It's always guilty, no case, case closed, punishments. So growing up like that, I've come to learn that I have to defend myself. I can't just sit down for people to bring around a narrative of what they think I am, and I'm not that way. So they were saying on the comment section that Lier is a serial thief, Lier is a serial liar, Lier used to sleep with old men, Lier used to sleep with male workers at work, at home. And I was like, do you even know when you're incriminating yourself? How do you even go around publicly admitting that a minor, a child below 18 years old, was sleeping with old men and was sleeping with boys or male workers at your own house? Yeah, at your own homestead, and you did nothing about it, and you said nothing about it, and you did not take an action against those men. That is rape, that is child molestation, that is pedophile. So sometimes people say things and I'm like, yeah, you could be rich, but again, you're not smart. You don't even know the right things to say on social media. You don't know the right things to write on social media. You can be incriminated, you can be sued in court over such things. That is a child who was getting molested, if it is true, because it is not true. It is not true. But if it is true and they feel it was true, that is what was happening to me, why didn't they take an action against men who are abusing me sexually? Yet they are willing to parade it on social media like that. Anyway, now about stealing, these issues started in 2004. I said 24 years ago. I said 20 years ago. They decided that I'm a thief until now. And I wonder how I've survived without them in a world where in total strangers, when I'm strangers, I have been employed in very big companies, I have been promoted, I've been in charge of money for the company directly, counting money and reports, doing reports on money. And I've never been accused by any employer that I have stolen. I've never ever been caught with someone's 1 shilling in my own adult life. And that's why I said it's more of of putting the record straight video than a story time, because I believe how someone grows up, it really tells a lot about the kind of an adult they are. Right now, because I'm not a thief, I don't sleep with old men. I myself, my platform, my social media platform speaks against women and ladies and small ladies and old ladies sleeping with people's husbands and old people. That's what I advocate for. But if maybe that's how I grew up and those are the heartbeats or character I grew around with, that is who I would be right now. And we all know if you're sleeping with old men or people's husband, it's either you've really made it in life or your life is really fucked up. You cannot be in between. So how am I here? My life is not fucked up and I've really not made it in life. I'm still working, but I'm not struggling. I can comfortably pay my bills. I can comfortably eat. I can comfortably sleep. I can comfortably pay my house rents, and everything is okay. So how am I not down there or up there, yet I was dealing with old men? Anyway, so this first scenario happened in 2004 when my grandmother's third last born was wedding her 7th child. She has 10 children, so her 7th child, who is the third last born, was doing her wedding in 2004, and back then I was in class 4. So in 2001 class 1, 2002 class 2, that's how I've gone to school. So you can be able to tell I finished high school in 2012. So she was preparing for her wedding, and she was doing her wedding, and one of her sisters who lives in London came to be her bride of honor. what is it called? Yeah, bride honor, like the best maid. Yeah, the best maid, sorry. She came to be her best maid, and when after the wedding, my grandmother decided to take a 3 months vacation back to London with her daughter who had come in for the other daughter's wedding. You get it? So my grandmother flew to London for 3 months, and we were left under, now the house, my grandmother's house was, because that's where I was living, was left under the care of her second last daughter, the 9th child. So she was left in charge. She was the one taking care of the house and operating, because there is workers, those who work in the shamba, there is house girl, and also there is another distant relative who was brought, an elderly lady, to just come and help her to run things, because there was farm workers, there was what are they called, the shamba boys. No, these ones, the ones that take care of animals, like they take the animals to graze during the day. Those ones, there was watchman. So it's a whole homestead. So there's a lot happening, and things have to continue operating the same way. So one day she brought her boyfriend to my grandmother's house, and I'll say the boyfriend's name because he's not part of the family, of course. And I've said I'll never mention these family members' names. I'll never mention the family's name unless I'm pushed to mention. But I'll never. That's not something I'm willing to do, because I still love my grandmother. Honestly, Shosho bado nakupenda sana sana. Shosho was was the only person who really stood by my side, and watoto wake, somehow they were the ones influencing her to treat me bad at times, because they used to guilt trip her. Oh, umepea Lydia boma, umepeleka Lydia shule mzuri, sijui unaishi na Lydia hapo, unampikia sijui anakula vizuri, unaona venye amenona. And I've always been a big chubby girl. Unaona venye Lydia amenona. So they would always manipulate and guilt trip her about me, so that they can be able to be given money, so that they didn't have good income to pay for their children's school fees. And some maybe when they want a favor from Shosho, because she has money. Shosho has money. So wakitaka favor from Shosho, they will always guilt trip her with me. So like my grandmother, sometimes out of just her anger or reaction, she would react by beating me or just kunionea too, because maybe I'm the reason why her daughters or her children are fighting with her. You get what I'm saying? So I have all the love I have for Shosho. It's just that now I know, and that's why I'm saying they manipulate her. I cannot be able to rekindle or continue to be in contact with her, or just want to be maybe close to her and go see her once in a while, because I know they have already manipulated her not to ever talk to me, or maybe they have already corrupted her mind. If I want to get close to her, it will involve a lot of things that I'm not willing to deal with them right now. So they that's their work. They corrupt mind. They manipulate, and if they can, it's always their way or no way. So back to story now. The daughter brought her boyfriend at home, and I remember it was during the night. This guy came. Now, if you know countryside homes, there is the entrance, there is a door which is connected to the kitchen, to the house kitchen, that normally everyone uses, even everyone uses when there is no guests. But there is that one door which faces the front, that is always opened when the guests come. I don't know if I think most homesteads are like that. There's just that one door, it's opened when there are guests, and there is that one door behind, the one that connects to the kitchen, that is always open. Is the one everyone operates with. It's the everyday door. So because it was that night, my auntie, my grandmother's daughter now, who was taking care of us, was left in charge. She opened for her boyfriend that door. Because if they watch this video, and to set the record straight, they all know the daughter who was dating a man called Kuria. You all know that man, Kuria. So when this guy came, my auntie opened for the boyfriend that door. And they spent the night. I don't know what happened, but because when we woke up in the morning, the guy wasn't there. He didn't spend the night there. Maybe they just had some few hours, he left. So that door was left open for over 5 days. By the time it was being realized, it was already 4-5 days have passed. So The door, I don't know who found the door opened. I can't remember who found out that door is opened. And you know, once you access that door, you access the whole house from the sitting room head TV. I say this is a rich family, so there's a lot of electronics. There's a lot of expensive electronics and gadgets that someone can easily steal. So that door, it would really open up to a lot of, it would really cause a menace if thieves would access that door. So I don't know who found the door opened. And then all of a sudden, the narrative started going around. It is me, Lydia, in class 4. This is the case of 2004. So all of a sudden, the narrative goes, Lydia is the one who opened that door for one of the workers who was working there, for them to come and steal electronics so that they can sell and get money. Guys, I'm in class 4. How old is a class 4 child? Around 11 years. Class 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years. In class 4, or you call it right now, you call it grade 4. How do I know about stealing electronics and selling and getting such an amount of money? Guys, come on now. Let's be honest. Comment down below. A class 4 child. I know a class 4 child can steal coins. I used to steal coins and we are getting there. But money, how do I sit down with a man and plan with them how I leave the door open for them so that they come in and steal electronics, then they go sell, then we share the money? How do I do that? Where is the mind? Where do I get the mind and the mentality and the smartness and the knowledge to do such a thing? Where? Even when someone can, maybe let's say that guy, whoever they say, because I'm continuing the story. Like, how do I agree to do such a thing with a person? I would even be devastated. I would go report him like, unaniambeje nikufungulie mlango ukuje uibe? How is that even possible? So, they reported to the police station. They reported me to the police station. And let me tell you something. I've come to understand there are so many people in jail who are serving a jail term over something they have no idea about. Because I was taken to the police station and I was interrogated and so many statements were taken. And you know how police, they feed you information. Your work is just to confirm. You know how they manipulate you like, unajua ukipeana huyu mtu wewe utatoka kwa hii shida kwa sababu wewe bado wewe ni mdogo, uendelee na shule. So wewe tupe tu huyu mtu, wewe uendelee maisha yako, hakuna kenye tamfanyikia. Atakuja hapa tu tumuulize kama venye wewe tunakuuliza. You know that they just manipulate your mind. So you are fed with information. So nikuulize, who do you talk to most? Then you say this guy. So huyu mtu si ni yeye alikwambia umfungulie mlango? Then you say yes. You see, your mind has already been manipulated to think that you're just going to say a name and just answer yes and no, yes and no, yes and no, and you don't know you're selling out someone who is innocent. Because if this theft would have happened, if this plan would have gone through, it would have gone through a long time ago. Remember this door, by the time they were finding out that this door has been opened, it was open for 4 or 5 days. You get? So remember, now I'm here, the police is feeding me information, so I just have to answer yes and no, yes and no. And imagine taking a 10 years old or an 11 years old child to prison, in front of a police. We all know how children fear police. And you hear like, utaenda jela, you'll go to prison. Prison people die. Prison people are doing this and this. You of course scared. You're scared to the bones, because how do I go to police, to jail, and I'm only 10, 11, 12 years old? So what police they do, they interrogate you in a way, they are feeding you information. There's a movie, I don't know what it was called, on Netflix, about 4 boys who apparently, they were told that they have murdered, someone was murdered at the park. And then, all of a sudden, they were interrogated separately, and information was fed to them even in absence of their family. So by the time the family is hearing their children are in prison, they are being interrogated, these boys had already given information that is so incorrect, and they ended up serving a jail term over something they didn't do. But it is this thing of police saying, oh, tenda tu nyumbani, you just go home and things will be okay. You just give out to your person, give out to your friend, give out, they feed you information. Anyway, so me, I was fed information. I just confirmed. Apparently now I had to sell out a guy, one of the boys who are grazing goats and I think or cows at my grandmother's house is the person I ended up incriminating. God, I wish I can be able to find a way to just go and look for that guy and apologize to him, because I can't imagine what happened to him. Honestly, I don't know what happened to him, but I know he ended up going to jail. I don't know how the case went, so I don't have that information. But I ended up incriminating him, and I ended up being released. But from that day, that family has always called me a thief. From that day, that narrative has been going on, that Lydia opened the door for thieves, that Lydia is a thief. Lydia Liers planned to have my grandmother's things stolen. She left the door open for a thief. That is the narrative that has been going on for more than 20 years, from 20 years ago. Now, after that case, I was going to school in a primary school. It's a public primary school, and no one who cared what I carried for lunch or what I carried for break time. We all know in public primary schools, you carry food. You carry like leftovers food from yesterday. They are put in a tin. You just carry and you'll have something for break. You maybe split the meal, for some for break time and some for lunch time. So me, and these people can confess. Who has ever taken a minute when bringing me up and packed me lunch for school? Packed me lunch to school, that is. Who amongst you? Nobody cared what I'll have for break. Nobody cared what I'll have for lunch. So I ended up many times sharing meals with my schoolmates. I wish my primary school schoolmates would come here and confess. One is Winnie. We are still in contact with her. She can come here and confess how much I used to share with her ugali mayai skuma. I don't know why. I think that's the meal they loved most, or that is the meal that her grandmother used to cook her mostly, because I remember her ugali skuma and mayai tasted so good. But she always shared with me. Another one, her name is Stacy. We used to even go sometimes with her to her grandmother's house, because again she also lived with her grandmother, to have lunch, because her home was nearer than mine. So mostly we would go with Tracy to her grandmother's house, have lunch, then come back to school. And another one was Kezia. I'm remembering the people who used to share their lunch with me. Another one was Kezia, and I think Kezia was my desk mate. Kezia, Winnie, and Tracy. Those are the names I can remember of my schoolmates, my classmates that shared their lunch with me. So at some point it used to get so much to me that I'm having to share people's meals. Sometimes, they don't want to share with me because maybe they have carried small, or sometimes, students, sometimes people don't feel you, they just avoid you. So sometimes I would feel so bad. And now I ended up stealing coins from my grandmother's purse or bedroom from time to time. Let me tell you something. Let me now ask you something else. If you present coins, money which is in form of coins, and money which is in form of notes to a child, which one are they prone which one are they prone to choose? Coins money or notes money? We all know children think coins money is the real money. The one that is in form of paper, it's like, what is that? That's like a Z. Yeah, right? So, and also for me, there are people who used to come to school, who used to come to cook in school. I don't know, it was a project or something. They would cook gideri, they would cook that muchele pilaunjeri, just rice mixed with potatoes. And they would sell to us at 10 shillings, at 15 bob, at 20, I think it's 10 shillings even. And then you could get chips for 10 bob, you could get chips for 20 bob, you could get kangumu, those small mandazis for 5 bob, 10 bob, you can eat 2. So with 20 shillings, I can eat break time, and I can eat lunch. And those are the money I used to steal, 20 shillings to 10 shillings. And now all of a sudden, Lydia is a thief. People don't want to put their, people don't, my aunts don't want to put their handbags near me because Lydia is a thief. But they don't know it's a coping mechanism. How do I go to school and continue sharing with people their food, yet everyone knew the family that I came from? This is a well-known family. This is a, if I mention the family, I mention the area, many of you would be able to connect the dots. But I said I won't do that unless I'm pushed to. So everyone thinks you're from a rich family. Why don't you have food? Why don't you carry food? You see that pressure. So sometimes you just even don't want to share with them their food. So you are being pushed to now go to coping mechanism. Find out how you can be eating. Sometimes I would cook without my grandmother's knowing. So at supper, let's say at supper we take ugali, and most of the time people used to come with rice and potatoes or ugali mayai. So if we cook ugali for supper, I would make sure I cook some eggs. I'm the one who used to cook, or the house girl, and the house girl would even cook for me mayai without my grandmother knowing. So I'll just take 2 eggs and fry them with tomatoes and some onions, so that now I can pack ugali and eggs, now that I can eat for lunch. So sometimes when that is not possible, what do? I go to my grandmother's bedroom, look for some few coins and steal, so that I can eat tomorrow at school. But now it became a narrative, because I think my grandmother started noticing her coins are missing, and she started noticing, it's me who is stealing. And that's how they all of a sudden said, oh, Lydia is, now they confirmed their narrative from 2004, now I'm a thief. Hi, another thing, when I enrolled for boarding school, you know how boarding school, people are given pocket money. Students are given pocket money because the boarding schools I went, they had school canteens. So you can buy mandazis, you can buy kangumu, you can buy anything from the school canteen, because the school can provide you tea or porridge. So you just find something else that you can drink the tea or porridge with. Imagine the whole school has pocket money. People are purchasing mandazi. My grandmother used to give me 200 as pocket money. I swear to God. I swear on my mother's grave. My grandmother, the maximum she has given me for pocket money is 300 shillings. Sometimes I would pass by town when and visit when I'm going back to school, and just tell, they have this big building in Nakuru town. So most of the shops, they are partitioned and everyone has been given their shop. So when I'm going back to school, I would pass by there and say goodbye to my aunts. I would visit this one, and only one would give me 200 or 150. The second born of the family, if there's someone I really, really wish that I would have interacted with more, is that lady. She was amongst the best family members in that family. I have nothing now. That one, I have purely nothing against her, because she has never done anything to me to feel like I am an outsider. When you go to her, and she has the most beautiful house. She lives in the most posh areas in Nakuru. She's amongst the richest family members in that family. She's among the first richest family members in that family. She has never made me feel like an outsider. So each time I would tell her, bye, hi, I'm going back to school, she would give me 150, 200. So I would end up with like 500 shillings as pocket money. Higher. Most students, when they're going back to school, they used to be bought for by their parents snacks. Like, let's say the juice, the one that you can dilute. You remember Quencha? They used to come with Quencha like 2 liters, 3 liters, 5 liters. They used to come with boxes of biscuits. They used to come with Blue Band. They used to come with sugar, chocolate, because where I went, especially in high school, you can be because it was really cold. Kabatini uko juu. Those people who knows Nakuru, Kabatini uko juu is really cold. So you can get hot water any time of the day, anytime in the evening after preps or before preps, from the kitchen if you want. So you'd go to the kitchen, be given some hot water, and you maybe, if you have chocolate or tea bags, you just mix chocolate and some sugar and drink maybe something, because if you want to sleep well in that school, you have to drink something hot for your body to feel some type of warmth so that you can sleep well. So imagine me, I'm there, people are living life like that. And remember me, I've always had swollen feet. My feet have always swollen, especially when I go to a cold area, my feet swells. So remember, I'm in school. This is a cold area. I don't have sugar. I don't have drinking chocolate. And everyone else have them, and you're just there with frozen feet, and your body is cold. So I realized, here is a survival for the fittest. Survival for the fittest. So my stealing game improved. And I'm speaking my truth. I'm speaking nothing but the truth. That's why I'm saying it's more of a setting the record straight video than a story time. But it was so my stealing improved from coins to notes. So I would make sure when I'm home during what is it called, during not break time, during school holidays, now I would steal kidogo, so that when I go to back to school, I have enough money. I can be able to use as pocket money to buy these things that I need, like maybe chocolate, sugar, some juice. Peer pressure is real. Peer pressure is real, so that at least you can be able to match up to other pupils' expectations and energy. You are just there. People are drinking something you don't have. It's break time. People are taking porridge or tea with kangumu, or mandazi. You are there staring at them. Imagine. And that is where self-esteem comes from. And that's why I said, even the video that I did previously on this lady that came and shared with us how she felt bullied in school. This is where self-esteem come from. Imagine you are the only different person where everyone else is able to access ABCD. You are there just staring at people. You are there just, taking your porridge. Or people when they are eating something or drinking something at night. You don't have to do that. You have to borrow. People have to woye you so that they can give you. It is not a good, it's not a good situation to be in. And thankfully, I ended up in a high school that I met a best friend, Cynthia. Oh God, that girl is another one. Cynthia, she was my bedmate. So in school the way there's two beds. So the one sleeps down, the other one sleeps up. So Cynthia, she noticed when she joined the school, I was in Form 3 and she was in Form 2. She joined the school in Form 2. So she was brought to my bed, my upper bed, and I was sleeping on the lower bed. So Cynthia noticed that I'm having a really hard time just surviving in school. And I don't know, like God, she's just God sent. Cynthia decided that she'll be sharing her shopping with me. She was coming from all the way from Nairobi. Her mother really used to give her shopping. Oh, Cynthia used to come with like 2 boxes of biscuits, 5 liters of juice, like 4 kgs of sugar, drinking chocolate, Milo. Hey, Cynthia carried Blue Band, ile 1 kg. Cynthia carried shopping. So, and most of the time when the term closes, because her mom used to replenish her shopping during a midterm or school visiting day. So when she realized she's being left with a lot of shopping when the school closes, and also when she opens back the school, she will still come back with a lot of shopping. So for her, God works in miracle ways. Instead of her telling her mom not to overshop for her, she decided we share with her. My God, let me tell you something. There's nothing I lacked from Cynthia. That girl, anything, she even gave me a spare key to her box. So when I want anything, I go to her box and get it. She will never ask. She will never do anything. We used to wash clothes together. We used to even sleep together. Now we made one bed, the upper bed, we made it like our place for placing our locker, our boxes. And then we used to sleep together on the lower bed. Cynthia will brush our shoes in the evening. And let me tell you something. When I joined Form 1, the pair of shoes the family bought for me is a pair of shoes I survived with for 4 years in school. Who does that? To be honest, Someone in form one is someone who is now growing really fast. We all know that stage is where adolescence is kicking in. Your body is forming. You're outgrowing clothes. Your body is becoming bigger. The boobs. My friend, me, I've never worn a boob top. You see the ones parents buy for children when their boobs are starting to grow, the breasts. I've never worn it. Nobody ever bought it for me. So Cynthia literally shared with me everything, even her shoes, the ones she was not wearing. She would almost every time Cynthia would come with new shoes, tafis from Bata, the ones that they were 2,800, and she would just tell me, Avanga izo. Cynthia, her mom understood the assignment, and bless such mother, because Cynthia has a really good relationship with her mother up to date. Really good relationship, because they have grown up so close. Anyway, sometimes even though you're being given all these things, sometimes you want to also show your friend you can also, support them. So you would wish, and Cynthia used to be given a lot of pocket money. This girl would come with like 5K, a whole 5K for pocket money, and within a month she would call her mother, because you can go to the bazaar's office. Is it bazaar or accountants? You can go to the bazaar's office and ask to speak to your mom because you want them to send you some money, and you would call and you'd be sent for money. Maybe it's fare you need or pocket money. Cynthia would every month would be sent money by her sister. Her sister was in the US. I think she's still in the US now. She's married even with a kid. So sometimes her sister would send Cynthia money. So Cynthia had money. But you know that pressure of your friend really shows up for you. Your friends really come through for you. You also want to look like you're also an impactful friend. So that's why I'm saying my stealing started becoming more. Now I can steal notes. But now it's not like I can steal thousands of money. No. I'll steal here and there, here and there, here and there. So when I'm opening school, I have like 1,000 or 2,000. So that I can be able to show Cynthia, like, I've also come through for us. We have more money, we have more pocket money. And now our life is much better because it's joint efforts. Now, that is where now everybody's at home. Lydia is a thief. You cannot keep your handbag around her. And nobody is asking you, Lydia, why are you doing these things? Why are you stealing money? Why is it someone cannot trust you around their handbag? Why is it that Shosho cannot trust you in her bedroom without her presence? Nobody cares. Nobody's asking. They're just quick to beat you, to punish you, to accuse you, to throw words at you without asking you, why are you doing this? What is it that you are lacking at home or in school that is making you steal? You get? Because I understand if it is your child. To be honest, if it is your child, and comment down below. You have a child and you have started noticing they have started stealing. What is the next step you are going to do instead of beating them? So you would ask them, why are you doing this? Where are you picking this habit? Where are you picking this kind of a habit of stealing? And what is it that you are lucky that you feel like when you steal, you will compensate for it? What is going on? I think that is the first instinct that should go to a parent's brain, like, I need to sit down with my child. So everybody's just beating you. Even sometimes you have not stolen anything. You have been accused of stolen. And I remember in class 6, when my sister came visiting, my grandmother lost 16,000 shillings. Let me tell you, I'm very keen to details. And that's why I normally say, me, even if you go to court with you with war, me, I have my facts straight. I have my details in place. I will tell you it will happen A, B, C, D, 3, 4, and I will take you out. I will win the case because I have details. So in class 6, my sister came visiting me, and this is where now we separated until we rejoined 11 years later. My grandmother lost 16,000 at home. And my sister was around. She had come to visit me, and she had stayed with me around 2 or 3 days. And when I went to school in the morning, they ambushed my sister. They ambushed my sister that, oh, you have come, now you have joined your thief sister, you have stolen 16,000, and she was taken to prison. I think I'll bring my sister here to narrate that story. They accused her of stealing. She was taken to prison. Mailikumi, those people who know Bahati or Nakuru, there's a police station in Mailikumi. She was taken there. She was frisked. She was stripped naked. she didn't have the money. They were looking for the money. She didn't have even one coin on her except the money she had come with. They left her in jail. This is now how the story she tells me. They left her in jail because I remember when I came back from school in the evening, I was told my sister left. My sister left, and they don't know why she just left suddenly. I was nothing like money was ever mentioned to me. I was never asked whether you stole with your sister, or whether you stole for your sister, or whether you saw someone stealing. Nothing was asked. This is something I had years later from my sister. Because I was trying to understand, why did she leave me for 11 years? Why did she leave suddenly and never came back to see me or to visit me? So my sister, after spending 1 week in what do we call it, in jail, not in jail, like where you're kept as your case is being heard, as you're waited to go to court, like that. What is it called? It's like remand. So she spent 1 week there. One of the police told her, you know what, I'm going to release you, which is against the law, because I don't feel you stole that money. And according to the information we've gathered, how we have interrogated you, clearly you don't have this money. It's not on you. So I'm going to release you, and you make sure you just go, never look back. See, you know your sister is okay. See, they are raising your sister, they are taking your sister to school. Your sister is fine where she is. And if you ask, even you can, if you continue to pursue this case and they decide to throw you and your sister out, would you be able to house your sister? No. So my sister was told by the police officer, you just go. When your sister grows up, you will find a way to reconnect with her or to look for her. Instead, you spoil for her where she's receiving help. You can just go and build your life. Later in life, you can meet. And my sister took that advice. The police officer released her, and she left and never came back until 2017. That was in 2006. So 11 years later, in December, that is when we reconnected with my sister. After now, because I finished school in 2012, Form 4, and then 2013, me and the family went back and forth, and I left there completely. And from then, I've always been on my own. So my sister came back looking for me. I think her mind was like, when she was looking for me in 2017, I think she had calculated, like, after high school, I will go to campus or college. So that's why maybe she waited more. She waited longer. Because see, college takes like 4 years. So 2012, then you join college, 2017, then 14, 15, 16, 17. So I think she had like calculated like that. By the time she's coming back, I finished campus, and now I'm independent. But unfortunately, I didn't go to campus because they didn't see me fit to go to campus. And let me tell you guys, I performed well. I got a B. I'll bring my teacher here, my high school teacher, who started off my healing journey, who made me realize that I'm getting abused at home. I got a B. I performed really well. I would have gone to a government program. I would have gotten help, and I would have studied. I would have gone ahead and studied, because my interest was to do criminology and catch all the criminals. Anyway, my interest, if I would have gone to college, don't tell me to go right now, because I don't think it's any more of my interests. Content now is my interest. Anyway, I wanted to do criminology, and when I was studying, I knew what I wanted, and that's why I performed really well, a B, even considering the circumstances that I was still going through at home and in school. So, another case that they say that happened, that they brand me as a thief. When I finished high school, I was employed at my uncle's what is it called? Pharmacy. Chemist or pharmacy. He has a pharmacy in town. So, normally, those people who studied those years, they know when you finish high school, before you join campus, it's either you do computer packages, or you do driving, or you do both. Either or both. So I wanted to do computer packages before we know what else I'm going to be able to do, or maybe join college or something. I was still hopeful. So my grandmother said, go get employed by so and so. Now her son, the last born, go get employed, and then the money he's going to be paying you a salary, you save it so that you take yourself to do what? Computer packages. I think that time computer packages were like 10,000, 12,000 to do CG, Word, Excel. I don't know if you've done computer packages, you know, it wasn't that expensive. So it was suggested I go work at my uncle's pharmacy as a cashier stroke a sales lady now, so that I can be paid salary and save and take myself to do computer packages. Now, my uncle's pharmacy, it was split into two. It was just like one room but split into two. This side, his wife used to sell cosmetics, used to sell beauty jewels and oils. Later I came to realize it is those mamukorogo, those macarolite, I don't know what, kombolola soap, I don't know what they are called. It is those things that she used to sell, and some jewels like rings, necklaces, earrings. That's what she used to sell. So there was a cosmetic side that belonged to the wife, and then there was a pharmacy side that belonged now to the uncle. And now there was the cashier point. So I was in charge of cashier. I was a cashier stroke the sales lady for the cosmetic side. Now, one day there was a school reunion. Not a school reunion, I think it was someone's birthday from the class of 2012. Now, from my schoolmates who we had finished school with. So I was invited to the party, and it was on a Saturday night. So when I was closing the shift, I decided, because I you know how when you finish school and then you reunite with your schoolmates and everyone is looking fantabulous, everyone has home clothes, they are dressing on the latest clothes style, shoes, nini, you know, the hair is different, they have phones, they have, you know, it's peer pressure. If I may, it's peer pressure, and it's just normal to feel like that at that age or at that point in life. So I was like, how am I going to show up to this party casually? So I really tried to put on the best outfit, and then I decided to take one of the rings from the cosmetic side of my uncle's wife's shop and just put it on, and then I go for party. Sunday is off day, we don't open, and then on Monday I'm the one who cleans the shop, I'm the one who cleans the area, I'm the cashier, I'm always the one who opens the shop. So by the time I'm getting in on Monday, I'll have returned the ring and nobody will know I had worn it, or so I thought. So me, when we are closing, I took the ring and put it on my bra. Now this is what I did. You see the bra, this part, because I'm fat and my bras, they are always like kind of a bit tight. So I put the ring here on this part of the bra. So I was like, when I leave this place and go, that's when I'll put the ring on, because remember, I'm still with my uncle. We are doing evening report calculations. We have to compare maths, if the sales are if the books are well balanced, like the money. So we finished balancing mathematics, and I think my aunt, now my uncle's wife, had spotted me either taking the ring, or maybe she spotted the ring was missing, because you know the rings, they are like placed in a kaba, they are arranged in a ka form or kaba. So either she noticed me picking the ring, or she noticed the ring was missing and we had not sold it. You know those big rings, they are like flowery and glittering like diamond, and when you turn it to different angles, they like lit different colors like rainbowish. It was really a really beautiful ring. So it was easy to miss it. If it is not there, it's not there. You can be able to tell it's not there. So she told now the husband, Lydia has stolen a ring, and she was I was called into now the back the shop, they had separated somehow, that now my uncle had a car office at the back room. So he had his hidden car area with car office desk, where even when you come when you're so sick, he can do consultation on you. So I was called, I was told, you've stolen a ring. And now because I panicked, I said, no, I've not stolen. And then my ass was told frisk her. So she frisked me and find the ring. Where? Ushaichapwa. Nilichapwa kichapo ya umbwa. Guy, that was one of the biggest wars I've ever received from that family. I was beaten and I was chased. I was told never to come back to that place for work, and I should not go back home. Remember how I said my grandmother's children, they manipulate her into making decisions, especially about me. He called my grandmother, told her that Lydia have stolen, and we have recovered what she had stolen, and I have said she should not come back to my shop and I should not see her back home. So my grandmother was said never and never take me back home. So that is how I was rendered homeless. That's how I ran away. That's how I have never looked back. And now that has stopped to the more narrative of Lydia is a thief, Lydia is a liar, Lydia is a serial thief, Lydia is a serial liar. You get? And I went, and now life became hard. This is even amongst the time that this now that following week I became homeless. Because now imagine you have gone to the party and people have gone back home on Sunday evening, and now come Monday, you don't have home to go back to. And now your friends are back home, back to their houses. Whoever was hosting you, they're expecting you to go. Me, I went to town and found somewhere a kakibanda and slept there for a week before I decided to call my high school boyfriend, who we were still dating, I think, that time. Who now decided, to talk to one of his friends whose mother hosted me. And when the mother took me in, because it was around the area where my grandmother's church is, some members of the church, they noticed I was now in a new home, and they would meet with my grandmother and ask her, now nowadays I see Lydia in a particular home with a particular family. Kwani those are also your family members? And now my grandmother, to avoid, what is it called, like shame or something, or people to stop talking about me, or people to stop asking her about me, and maybe why am I no longer with her or in her home, what is happening in Nini, she called me, she looked for me, she sent for one of her friends in church to come to that homestead and talk to the lady about the lady who was hosting me. And the lady decided, you know what, your grandmother is looking for you and she's asking for you back, so I'm going to take her home. And now, because I had told this lady what had happened, so she took me back home, and you guys, I faced one of the most diminishing, embarrassing moments in life. Some church lady, no, the one who was sent to come and talk to this lady who was hosting me, with others too, and I think an elder in that village, they came and took me back home, and they were asked to come, and my grandmother narrated what had happened that had made me run away and not be at home. So she literally told them I had stolen, I am a thief. Also, there was another situation in Nini, like, I'm so ungrateful, I had run away from home, I am a thief, I've stolen from her son. She said everything as it is, to be honest, but it was so embarrassing knowing, like, the thing that led to this circumstance. It's not like stealing, you're just like, okay, no stealing, but they made it look so big than it was. You get my point? So you are asked to kneel down. I was asked to kneel down to apologize to my grandmother for embarrassing her, to go and live with a family that is known, that is near where she's known. That is one. And I was asked to write an apology letter, and I'm going to attach that letter here. You can take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot, or you can pause this video and read this letter. This letter, I wrote it to my uncle, whom I had stolen from. I was asked if I want to come back to the family, because that family, now where they were hosting me, they were no longer willing to host me, because it's now like two families going against each other over an orphan who cares about her anyway. So I knelt down, apologized to my grandmother for running away and for stealing from her son, and then I was asked to write this apology letter to my uncle whom I had stolen from. Now, I don't know what had happened. Now, this is where, honestly, I don't know what had happened, that I even accused his wife of witchcraft. Maybe there is something that she had done, maybe, but honestly, I swear with my mother's grave, I don't remember what had happened. But I remember me and that lady were not in good terms. Totally, kabisa, we were not in good terms with that lady, because she was always on my case every time. And you remember, this is the same person that found her husband abusing me, and instead of taking a step or taking up an action against the husband, she fainted, woke up, and was fed lies. She was asked never to talk about it, so that they can protect the family name. So this someone I also had already boxed in together with people who are abusing me, because if you are enabling an abuser, you are also an abuser. So I was not, and remember, she's the one who is married into this family. She's not like the child of the family. So it was easy for me like to sideline her, or just resist, or just show her that I don't care. So I don't know what had happened that I called her, which I thought she was bewitching the husband. I honestly don't know what had happened. So this is the letter that I wrote to my uncle, so that he can accept, so that he can forgive me, so that I can come back home. Anyway, that is how this whole family thinks I'm a thief. I went back home. Things had started becoming so hard for me, because now everybody was thinking, now why is Lydia still at home? She has finished school. We have helped her as much as we can. Now you start becoming the housemaid of the family. Today someone chases their house girl. You're the one being asked to go there and take care of that family. Another one also does the ABCD. I go take care of her. It became messy for me, and I was not seeing any improvement, because number one, I didn't go for any computer studies. I didn't go for driving. So I felt like my life was becoming stagnant, and I started looking for work, and I got some commission job where you zururisha, you hawk, like literally hawk lotion. It was some aloe vera body lotion. You hawk and you sell it for 100 bob, you get 20% as commission, like 20 bob literally. So is it 20% or 2%? Anyway, so you sell one at 100, you get 20 bob from that 100. So how much you're going to get is according to your bidi yako. And when I got that job, and I could save a bit here and there, I got like a house for 2,000 shillings worth. This house, it was, no, in Nakuru there is a place called Kitty. I don't know nowadays what it is called. It is called Kitty. So I got a house worth 2,000 shillings. I rented it, and that is how I started my life, and that is how I completely left that family. Never looked back. Ever. So that is how that family ended up calling me a thief, ended up calling me a liar. I don't know what I did to them, but this is my truth and nothing but the truth. I acknowledge I went extreme. I don't know. For me, I feel like it was more of coping mechanism with the circumstances that were presented to me, more than a character. Because to be honest, if I had some thief blood in me, I wouldn't be where I am. I've been employed in one of the best companies like Java. I started as a steward. I was in charge of the store, where you are the ones who is distributing things to the rest of the team in the kitchen and in other departments like service. And then I got promoted to a waitress. A waitress were directly handling money from the clients to cashier. So you can easily say a client has gone without paying and nothing happens. Yeah, I was promoted to head waitress. Still in Java. I left Java when I was occupying a head waitress position. Then I came to Nairobi. I got a waitress job and then promoted to a head waitress. Then that restaurant closed down. Then I got now my last employment place. It's called Dream Bean. It's still operational. I joined as a waitress. I was promoted to head waitress. I was again promoted to supervisor. I left employment when I was a supervisor. Supervisor, you are the one in charge of reports, money reports. You're in charge of sales. You're in charge of making sure the money reaches the office, everything. So all these places I have worked, there is no someone who can stand there and I call upon that those we have worked with. my colleagues, my former bosses, whoever can be able to comment down below if you're watching this video. I've never ever been caught with the company's shillings or stealing them from my own fellow staff members. Never ever have I in my entire adult life I have sat down to do a theft case. There was one that happened in Caldi's where some cashiers, now this one would involve cashiers and managers, they were keying in money in form of M-Pesa instead of cash, and then they steal the money. So the report will read the money has been paid via M-Pesa. So when because it has been fed like that in the POS, the report will come like correct. M-Pesa, maybe it has 50,000 shillings for the shift, like report of the shift. So that is how eventually the owners realize, our M-Pesa statements and our M-Pesa reports for sales, daily sales, they are different. So it was case involving cashiers and managers. So many people were laid off from that case, and I survived. I continued working there. So that's what I'm saying. You cannot pin me down over someone that I am not. I am not a thief. If I am a thief, there is so many things. I wouldn't be where I am. Because I've lived with people. I've lived with strangers. There's a family that took me in when I came to Nairobi to seek for job hunting. Total strangers. I lived with them for over a year. I have a family with father, mother, and 2 children. They can attest I've never stolen anything. I've lived with friends. I've lived with boyfriends. I have worked. So there is no way you can tell me that I'm a thief. I am not a thief. That is your own narrative of how you see me or how you think about yourself. And you know me, I normally say, once a thief accuses you of stealing, it is because they think everyone steals. And I'll leave that at that. So when someone accuses you of something, when someone is so adamant on accusing you about something you have never done or never thought of doing, is because somehow they think everyone is doing what they are doing. I'll leave that at that. So that is how my life ended up. That is how I am, and that is what one thing I was not able to explain when I was doing that interview on Lingugi. It is one thing that I had to go deeper into details to make it clear, because I'm so tired of this narrative. I'm so tired of this narrative, and that's why most orphaned children, they are unable to speak about their experiences. They are unable to face their traumas, because somehow they have been abused to think that they are this way, they are that way, and that is not who they are. That is not me. I am not a thief, and nobody can come and pin down over something I've never done or thought of doing. So that is of setting the record straight. I hope this video, when someone listens, it will click in their head and say, what, you know what? It's true. It's true. You know, if this video cannot make things straight to some of those family members, I don't know what else will. I don't know what else will, and I'm not willing to continue talking about that family. This is the last video, or this is the last sit down or a top of time I will talk about that family, because it's too much, man. And then I've healed. I'm over that. I'm on to better things. Life is looking up. I have my sister. We reunited with her finally. She's raising beautiful family. I'm over here doing my best, you know, building a tribe, building a community. And if we are still trying to accuse each other over something that happened in childhood, then I don't know if we are growing or not. I would say we are not, because there's so much growing needed to do. Anyway, that is just for setting records straight. And please, guys, and this is the last time I'm going to address it. I would wish to be in contact with my grandmother, but because of the manipulation and the headache and the traumas that will come with that, I would rather not. I still say she's one person who I really loved, or I still love. And it's the one person who really saw me through, because if she wouldn't have taken me in, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what would have happened, even though she promised my mom at her deathbed to take care of me. Also, it was her will, you know, but her children really came down with the manipulations and the mistreatments and back and forth, to a point that now that's why I feel like there is no relationship or things to punch up with them, you know. Anyway, that is that. I'll leave that as that. I hope this video clears a lot for those who have been asking, why can't you go back there? Why can't you go back to your grandmother and say thank you? Why can't you like rebuild a relationship with them? I can't. There are so many things, unless they admit they are wrong, they did some things wrong, they were in the wrong for saying some things, they were in the wrong for doing some things to me. There is no way I can be able to build such a friendship or such a relationship. And also I believe if a relationship did not start getting built from those years, how do we build such friendships as adults? It's just hard. It's hard. And then no, it's just hard. It can't happen. It can't happen unless the other side of apologies and acknowledgement happens. And I know their ego is way up, their pride is way up. It can't happen. So it is what it is. Anyway, guys, shoot location courtesy of Edmo Suits. Thank you so much for this apartment. If you are looking for somewhere to have a short-term stay, a long-term stay, from a studio apartment up to 4 bedrooms apartment, contact Edmo Suits with the best apartments in Nairobi, in Riverside, Westlands, Kilimani, and Parklands. They are the best in the market. Their apartments come serviced and fully furnished. All you have to do here is come and have a lovely time, a staycation with your friends, a staycation with your partner, a staycation with your maybe you have a client at your workplace who have visited the city and you don't know where to host them. Contact Edmo Suits. And until next time, bye.